Have you ever felt your stomach tighten just a little when someone texts, "Hey, I'm nearby, mind if I come over?" You type, "Of course, come by." But inside a quiet voice whispers, "There goes my calm." If that moment feels painfully familiar, you're not strange or ungrateful. You're human, and more importantly, you're understood. Today we're diving into a topic millions of people secretly relate to but rarely talk about. Why some of us deeply dislike having guests over, even when we genuinely love the people visiting. On the surface, it seems contradictory. You care about your friends, you enjoy their company, you laugh together, you share memories. So why does the idea of them stepping into your home feel so heavy? Why does your heart sink just a little when your doorbell rings? The answer isn't rudeness. It isn't antisocial behavior. And it definitely isn't that you don't like people enough. It's psychology. And once you understand it, everything about yourself will start to make sense. For some people, home is just a place, a functional space, a backdrop for life. But for others, home is something much deeper. It's a sanctuary, a nervous system reset button, a private emotional charging station. It's the one environment where the mask comes off, the shoulders drop, the breathing slows, and the world finally stops asking for something. When someone enters that space, even a person you adore, something changes. The air shifts, the silence breaks, your awareness heightens, your nervous system quietly goes on alert. Not because danger is coming, but because your inner world is no longer fully yours. Psychologists call this territorial comfort. It's the deep emotional bond we form with our personal environment. For people who are sensitive, introspective, creative, or emotionally deep, their home isn't just four walls. It's an extension of their identity. Every object, every sound, every routine is part of a carefully balanced ecosystem that keeps them regulated. So when a guest arrives, it's like dropping a pebble into a perfectly still pond. Nothing terrible happens, but the ripples touch everything. Another powerful factor is something called social energy recovery. Some people recharge through connection, others recharge through solitude. If you're the second type, your home is where your social battery finally refills. Out in the world, you're polite, you're attentive, you're emotionally available, you're on. You read the room, you manage your tone, you make space for others' needs. And that takes effort, real, invisible effort. When you come home alone, you stop performing, you stop monitoring yourself, you stop explaining, you stop adjusting. You finally get to just exist. But when a guest comes over, even one you love, the performance mode switches back on. You become the host, you become the listener. You become the version of yourself that manages comfort, conversation, timing, and emotional tone. And while you may smile and enjoy the moment, a part of your nervous system is quietly spending energy the entire time. That's why, for many gentle, kind, empathetic people, the moment the door closes behind a guest feels relieving, not because they're cold, not because they're ungrateful, not because they secretly hate their friends, but because silence feels like oxygen again. Here's something most people will never admit out loud. Some of the warmest, most caring, most emotionally intelligent people are the ones who struggle the most with having guests in their home. Why? Because they feel everything. They notice every shift in energy. They feel responsible for everyone's comfort. They absorb the emotional atmosphere of a room. They can't fully relax if someone else isn't relaxed. So hosting doesn't feel casual to them. It feels like a job, a loving job, a meaningful job, but still a job. And deep down, they don't want their safe place to turn into a workplace. Psychologists also talk about something called emotional boundaries. People who dislike hosting often have very strong internal boundaries. They're not pushing people away. They're protecting the spaces that allow them to stay mentally and emotionally whole. To them, home is not a stage. It's not a performance venue. It's not a social hub. It's who they are when no one's watching. That's why many people like this prefer meeting friends in neutral locations, cafes, parks, restaurants, walking trails, bookstores, places where connection can happen without their inner world being fully exposed. It's not avoidance, it's self-preservation. For some, this sensitivity goes even deeper. It's rooted in childhood. If you grew up in a home where guests meant stress, chaos, pressure, forced politeness, or emotional unpredictability, your nervous system learned something very early. Visitors equals tension. Maybe your parents became different people when others were around. Maybe you were told to behave perfectly. Maybe conflict always happened after guests left. Maybe the house stopped feeling safe when it was full. So now, even as an adult, your body reacts before your mind can explain why. Your muscles tighten, your breathing shortens, your energy drops. Not because the person is bad, but because your nervous system is replaying an old survival pattern. And here's the most important part of all. There is nothing wrong with you. You can love people deeply and still crave solitude. You can be generous and still guard your peace. You can be social and still need sacred private space. You can be kind and still say, "I don't want visitors today." In a world that glorifies constant connection, endless availability, and always being on, protecting your home as a quiet refuge is not selfish, it's wise. Because for some people, the truest form of comfort isn't a party. It's a quiet room, a familiar chair, a warm drink, soft lighting, and the gentle hum of their own thoughts. If that description just made your chest feel lighter, that's your nervous system saying, "Yes, that's me." So if you've ever felt guilty for not wanting people over, if you've ever wondered why hosting drains you more than it should, if you've ever felt like something was wrong with you for needing so much alone time, let this be your permission slip. You're not broken, you're not antisocial, you're not cold, you're simply wired for depth, peace, and emotional safety. And that's not a flaw, that's a strength. So tell me in the comments, are you like this too? Do you love people but fiercely protect your home space? And if this video made you feel seen, understood, and a little less alone, don't forget to subscribe. We break down everyday human behaviours in simple, honest ways. And I think you'll feel at home here too. See you in the next one.